So it's been just about over a week now since the special edition, and primarily Vergil has come out. And if you're like me and couldn't be bothered with the headaches, drama, frustration, stress, and just overall disaster that is a next-gen console launch, or even worse, you actually braved the calamity shitstorm and pre-ordered either a PS5 or one of the new Xboxes, and it just conveniently hasn't shipped yet, well then we're most likely in the same boat, and all we can do now is twiddle our thumbs for the next 4 weeks until Vergil's DLC release. Wait, 4 weeks? Are you serious? That is, unless of course you're willing to shell out the extra cash and buy from a scalper. But quite frankly, I personally would rather take a punch from Sparta himself than give one of these assholes a single dime. And I hope to God you agree with me. So if you're jonesing for that glorious Vergil fix harder than Vergil is for power,
I need more power.
Look no further, dear viewer. Thanks to a great friend of mine who goes by the name RK Revolution, I have some brand new Vergil tech and some clips to share and break down for you today. So strap yourself in and throw on a fresh pair of panties, cause we're diving in, baby. Okay, clip number 1. Vergil's trick up and trick down can virtually cancel anything in Vergil's move list, and that includes Starfall, Helmbreaker, and Aerial Cleave. Now these are moves that are typically not cancelable unless you jump cancel, meaning that you can use trick up or down as a universal cancel to instantly avoid damage, extend or enhance mobility, or strategically retreat to a better vantage point for judgment cuts. Which brings me neatly along to point number 2. Judgment Cut preserves momentum from trick cancels. This applies to both trick up and trick down. So if, for example, you use trick up to cancel out of an attack with forward momentum, canceling into trick will preserve that momentum and literally carry you forward as you execute judgment cuts. And the same applies for trick down as well. Number 3. By combining points 1 and 2, it's actually possible to cancel an attack into trick up or trick down and instantly into a just frame judgment cut. According to RK, the timing is incredibly tricky, but it's super satisfying to execute and it looks freaking awesome. Number 4. Vergil's block at maximum concentration is an auto parry. Now I don't know too much about how it functions and how it will react to physical attacks, but RK was able to confirm that it will actually deflect projectiles when you're at max concentration. Now I do want to point out that when the auto parry actually occurs, there is a drop in the concentration meter. So it seems like this is something that's not a passive ability that's on all the time. It's essentially a one-time use until you get back up to level 3 distortion. I don't know about you, but when I saw this, I absolutely lost it. I don't care what anyone says, this shit is hilarious. Don't at me. Number 5. Just frame Beowulf charge releases get a huge damage buff. While this is not a new feature and it is returning from DMC4, it is really cool to see this coming back and returning to DMC5. For those who don't know, when you have level 2 concentration meter, Vergil gains access to a second charge level for Beowulf attacks that can be enhanced by holding down the attack button, and a third charge at level 3 concentration. Letting go of the attack button right as you get the charge, also known as a just frame release, will greatly increase the damage of the attack, which you can clearly see in these clips. Now the first one against Urizen here is on Son of Sparta, and I believe the one against Dante is on Dante Must Die, and goddamn these freaking hurt. Number 6 is dedicated to Vergil's ultimate attacks. What I'm absolutely loving so far is that all of them seem useful and have their own respective place in the meta. Initially, I actually thought Deep Stinger looked kinda useless, but in actuality, it's the perfect tool to destroy Urizen's crystal in the Prologue, Mission 8, and Mission 12 boss encounters. Judgement Cut End looks to have the largest area effect of the 3 ultimate attacks, making it the ideal option for clearing out rooms with mobs of enemies. And it does a nice chunk of damage as well, so it'll definitely come in handy in Legendary Dark Knight. And finally, we have Beowulf's Hell on Earth, which is the ultimate nuke. I mean, this move's damage is absolutely off the charts, and it even has the ability to launch freaking bosses. Just look at the damage output. This is Dante Must Die, and Artemis's life is actually being shredded. Oh yeah, and you can use up to 4 of these ultimate attacks in a single SDT transformation.
Ridiculous.
Number 7. Judgement Cut combined with Sin Devil Trigger and the Doppelganger alters the way that Judgement Cut works and causes it to attack up to 3 different enemies simultaneously on each repetition, making this combination broken as hell. By God, Vergil, you need to calm down, sir. And finally, number 8 is some interesting tech for World of V. For starters, the startup animation is actually jump cancelable. Realistically speaking, it probably won't serve too much practical purposes outside of maybe some flashy combos, but I do think it's cool that it is actually possible, and the devs clearly put some effort and thought into the startup animation itself. The second thing that's pretty cool is that if you trigger World of V with a ring of phantom swords, the swords will actually stay out and can even juggle the enemy momentarily during the startup phase of World of V. And this is interesting because Vergil is technically off screen and incapacitated on the ground while this is happening. Again, not really something that's super practical, but it is a nice little quirk that I'm glad made it into the game. And that's all I got for today. Again, I'd like to give a huge shout out to RK for giving me permission to share these clips and review them. This video would definitely not have been possible without the clips and without RK's input. So please go check out his channel, give him a like and a follow. All of his details are in the description. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay awesome, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.